what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming. Ooh. So gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sailors, that star-spangled o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Sarah Anderson from the Hunger Task Force and our national anthem. Time for today's Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital Scratch Report. Not playing in today's game: number 6, Guillermo Viega; number 7, Hans Dennison; number 18, Isaac Pereira; number 22, Chris Kurth; number 23, Tony Patterson; number 25, Andrew Wiedebach; number 31, Matt Isold; and number 77, Marcio Leite. Not playing in today's game. This Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital Scratch Report, where they are uniquely committed to their patients' health, comfort, and individual orthopedic care. Learn more at mymosh.com. That's mymosh.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, kicking out the first ball for today's contest. Hi, guys. You guys made it here. Haven? You're Haven, and you are Summer. Give it up for Haven and Summer, ladies and gentlemen. The Hampton Haynix are here, and they're going to be kicking out the first ball, as well as our friend Jonathan from the Hunger Task Force. Right over there, sweetie. Right over there. To Max and to Ian and to Eder as well. All right, gang. Here we go, kids. When you're ready, 1, 2, 3, kick. How about a nice round of applause for the kids, ladies and gentlemen? Quick question before we get started here. Is it gonna be the Chicago Mustangs tonight? Or is it gonna be your Milwaukee way? Today's game is now underway, presented by our friends at Bubble Ball Sports. Online at bubbleballsportswithaz.com.
Did I unplug it? No.
This was moved from there to there. Okay, where'd you go?
And welcome back to our broadcast here. Wave taking on the Chicago Mustangs. Tom went along with Art Kramer. Wave with it as they go left to right as you look at the action.
Few technical difficulties.
Daniel Shimale controlling for Milwaukee. But the Mustangs take it away. Just underway here from U.S. Cellular Arena. No score in the early going. Tom went along with the Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer. And the Wave scores, take the lead, and it is Ian Bennett bagging the goal. The Waves leading scorer, 23 goals, 4 assists coming in, and he
And Ian Bennett.
assist going to Max Ferdinand. Max, the league's leading playmaker. Good, nice look there to find Ian. And not much of a chance there for Jesus Flores, the Chicago keeper, to keep that one out of net. 2:15 the time of the goal, and the Wave jumping out to the 1-0 lead.
Can you hear me now?
So a good start for the Wave as they try to make it 2 consecutive wins over the Mustangs this year. Again, Milwaukee defeating Chicago a few weeks ago at the Sears Center in Hoffman Estates, Illinois by the score of 11-8. That was a game in which Ian Bennett had 7 goals, so he's off to a great start here today as Andre Hain with a shot that time for the Wave off the pass from Robert Renault, and Flores there to make the save. Flores also has a brother on this team, number 9, Rodrigo Flores, joining his older bro on the team this year.
One of the things Giuliano Oliveira talked about was keeping the pressure up for 60 minutes, Tom.
Pretty nice crowd gathered here today on New Year's Eve Day, the annual traditional home game for the Wave on New Year's Eve Day. Ferdinand trying to get top of the area, cracks a shot, and a nice save made by Flores. Chicago in the red uniforms today. They go right to left as you look at the action. There's Daniel Matos, number 14 for the Wave. Looks for Tremale on the near wing. Tremale, a rookie out of Toronto. Tried to center across, pass was knocked down. Wave coming in at 4-5, 2-1 on the home turf. So victory today would get them back to the 500 mark. And the Mustangs coming in today's action at 5-2, 2-1 on the road so far this year. Ryan Sigich, Rich Grady, a couple of longtime veteran officials working today's game, arguably two of the best in all of indoor soccer. There's Eder Nelson, the rookie from Costa Rica, tried to turn on the board for the wave, knocked away. Bond comes out with it, but a nice stop there by Drew Ruggles. And as Art Kramer alluded to in the pregame show, that's going to be a key to get a body on Bond and stop him before he can get the momentum going forward today. Ruggles, a second-year guy out of Georgia Southern. Now Eder Nelson up high. Nice move to get around Alonso. Alonso, the former player from Club America, the outdoor team in Mexico. And he's gradually acclimating himself to the indoor game. Ferdinand with a little back heel touch. Grable keeps it going. Bennett tees one up, and a nice stop there by Flores. Ian trying to sneak one by him to the far post, and a nice dive and save. Flores quickly. Lemos gets it out now. Grable coming forward. Tried to lay it off on the far side. I said Grable, was actually Ricardo trying to dish the ball that time. Jamale will track it down and go back for Lemos. Lemos, another Canadian rookie on this team. He, Jamale, and Renault, all Canadian imports in their first year in the MASL. All three of those guys had a lot of futsal experience up in Canada. Chalamet coming forward. Bennett's goal at 2:15, the only score of the contest so far. Speaking of Ian, he's got it right there. As double teamed by Beard and Camarena. And now takeaway. Here's Rodrigo Flores trying to lead a 3-2 break back the other way, but the wave gets back. Top of the area, Miguel Vaca with a shot. Knocked down by the rebound follow and a goal, and the Mustangs have tied it up. And so we're back to even at one apiece. Try to see who scored the goal there.
Milwaukee waiting Chicago Mustangs.
Let's check it out one more time. Shot by Vaca was deflected. Rodrigo Flores there to follow it up. And Flores, brother of the Chicago keeper Jesus, has got a goal for Rodrigo. That is his first goal of the season. Assist for 2 points. Vaca will get credit for the assist. Time of the goal is at 7:24. So Wave tying it up at, or rather Chicago tying it up at one apiece on the goal by Flores. His first of the year from Vaca, gets his 9th assist at 7:24. Milwaukee initially taking the lead on the goal by Ian, his 24th of the season. Ferdinand, who picked up his 15th helper of the year. Pretty good action here in the first half of the first period. As you can imagine, it's been a spirited rivalry between these two teams. They both entered the MASL in 2014-15. Last year, Chicago with a dramatic 11-10 overtime victory here on New Year's Eve Day, as Douglas Dos Santos scored the game winner in extra time to propel the Mustangs to victory. So I would not be surprised if we have another barn burner here today. And ball went out of play. Chicago will take it. Flores able to work it up for Ephraim Beard. Checked off the play by Renault. Renault, a native of Quebec. And he has transitioned well to the indoor game here so far this year. Off the ball, Matos gets dumped by Willow Martinez, I think that was. So Martinez will get called for the foul. Martinez, their leading scorer a year ago, this year number 3 on the Chicago team scoring list. Taylor Bond, the leading point getter for the Mustangs right now, total of 21 points, 16 goals, 5 assists. Max Ferdinand takes the big hit from Milutevich. Lemos plays it up ahead to Ferdinand. They work it on near side. Here's Chad Vandergriff. Vandergriff in his 4th indoor season. First with Milwaukee. Now Matos will lay it off near wing. Here's Eder Nelson. Fires across. It's knocked down. Ruggles will try and keep the zone for Milwaukee. Nelson works it over. Matos off the end board, but nobody there on the other side except Willow Martinez for the Mustangs. And now some defensive pressure. Wave almost caused the turnover. Flores with nice reaction there to clear it upfield. Camarena to the corner as Chamale tries to body him up without fouling him down there. Vaca. Nice little cutback, left foot shot, blocked by Chamale. Nelson in trouble, top of the area. Ball comes out. Now Pichardo will tee one up, just off the mark. And Mustangs will cycle back to midfield. And off the ball, I believe we're going to have a foul on Max Ferdinand as he ran over Alexis Camarena. That's number 2 on Max. Again, in the MASL, you were allowed 3 personal fouls in each half on your 4th. Your team gives up a 2-minute power play. So Max has got to be a little careful now here as we approach the latter stages of the first period. That's in each half as far as the foul count goes. Still got some fans trickling in here on this New Year's Eve day. Quite a few from Chicago, it appears, come up for this one. So great to have them in the house here. Winning pressure in midfield, but Mustangs still able to keep control. Now here's Miguel Vaca. Vaca coming forward and centered off the side wall. Eventually got it back, but chipped up into the stands. 4 minutes even left to go here in the first period. This is one of several games going on in the Major Arena Soccer League today. St. Louis hosting Kansas City. 4th quarter score there. The Comets of Kansas City up over the Ambush 6-4. Also Cedar Rapids hosting the Florida Tropics today. Tropics with a big win last night as they were able to defeat Kansas City 8-7. But a quick turnaround for them as they have to roll into Cedar Rapids to play the Central Division leading Rampage, who started today's action at 7-2. The Rampage led at 6-2 in the second period. That one almost tailor-made for Cedar Rapids as they were sitting there waiting for the Tropics, who probably had to use up a lot of energy in last night's game in Kansas City. And then, of course, we've got our game here today. Ian Bennett with the marker for Milwaukee. Rodrigo Flores with the tally for Chicago. And it counts for a score right now. Renault trying to run through. Keane eventually gets it. Nice pass, Renault, and across the middle. And the Wave scores. Nicely done by the Wave. Not sure if Renault or Vandergriff will get credit for the goal. It looked like the ball was going in to the far post off the foot of Renault, but Vandergriff going to make sure. Now it was indeed. Vandergriff got it before it went over the line, so Chad Vandergriff scores the tally for Milwaukee. Renault with the assist. Time of the goal at 11:40. So Chad Vandergriff with the goal to put the Wave back out on top, 2-1. Chad gets his first of the season, first goal and first point. And Robert Renault will get the assist, his 6th assist and 12th point of the year. So let's take a break. 2:55 left to go, first period. It's Wave 2, Chicago 1. This is Wave Soccer.
Tom, can you hear me with this? You can't hear me with this, huh? Test, test, test. Can you hear this, Ian, right now? But Tom can't hear me, and I can't hear myself. Okay, Tom, you can't.
The UW Milwaukee Panther Arena as Wave and Mustangs resume action here in the first period. Wave up 2-1. And off the restart, Mustangs able to break it up. Back downfield as Josh Lemos controls for the Wave. Lemos, who has emerged as the primary starter for the Wave this year, 4-2 with a 5.57 goals against average coming into this one. .644 save percentage. His counterpart, Jesus Flores, who played virtually every minute in the Nets last year for Chicago and is doing the same this year. As Lemos gathers that one in. He is 5-2 with a 6.54 goals against average and a 67.9 save percentage. Wave on the attack, going left to right. The black uniforms on the black turf of the UW Milwaukee Panther Arena.
Two minutes. How would you like to work out if you're on the Milwaukee Way?
Matos, third-year indoor veteran. Originally from Brazil, sets it up, shot off the mark, rebound, follow. Guess who? Ian Bennett, and the Wave leads it 3-1. Stuart Grable should get the assist. Flores had to make a great stop on Grable, but then Bennett right there at the doorstep to put it in. So credit Ian with his second goal of the match, his 25th of the season. Time coming at 13:17. And the Waves IBM connection, Ian Bennett plus Max Ferdinand. Already launching well here in the first period tonight. Max had the assist on Ian's first goal of the afternoon. Grable picks up the assist there. Stewart, the native of Neenah, Wisconsin, played at UWGB. And for Stu Grable, his second assist and fourth point of the year. Now Renault keeps it going forward. Shot just wide as Andre Hayne able to stick his right leg in there, but he just missed. Meanwhile, at midfield, we've got an altercation going on here, and blue card is called out as Tenzin Rampa got dumped. Art, what did you see there?
A minute 6 remaining here in the first. Injured player on the field is number 2, Tenzin Rampa.
Tenzin's down. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Still having a few technical difficulties here as we'll try to get Coach Kramer activated again on the mic. Let's take a look one more time on the instant replay. Well, you see Tenzin Rampa there.
Here's the penalty.
Whoa. Oh, was that Alonso slid through with 2 feet, it looked like. I stand corrected, it wasn't Alonso. Let's see who's in the box there for Chicago. So our first penalty of the contest. And I would suspect probably not our last. Boy, that was a heinous penalty right there as, boy, we hope Tenzin's going to be okay. Sure didn't look good on that replay.
Number 18 of the Chicago Mustangs,
Juan De La Cruz at 13:05 of the first period puts the Wave on the power play. And again, Milwaukee has had a superb power play this year, clicking at over 80%. Matos up high along with Ricardo, Bennett, Ferdinand, and Tosh. The rest of the power play unit for Wave coach Giuliano Oliviero. Bennett chips on the cross far side. Ricardo is there to get it. Ricardo, a rookie Brazilian midfielder. Now they swing it to Matos. Looking near wing for Ferdinand. Mustangs trying to clear. Max, good job to retain possession. Lays it off to Ricardo. He'll swing it to Bennett. They keep moving around the perimeter down near side. Ferdinand. Max shot blocked by the Mustangs defense as Ephraim Beard stood up to get it. Clock is going to tick down for the period. We will have 54 seconds remaining on the Wave power play to start the second quarter. So that does it for our first 15 minutes of play. A good period for the Wave. It's Milwaukee 3, Chicago 1. Back with the second period. This is Wave Soccer.
Wave fans, make some noise!
Still going to take a miracle. Looking like plays it in. Heading down. Marcial across. Shot a goal!
Oh my, this is going to be something else. This is going to be something else, Tom. I don't know if they can go to instant replay, but I don't know if that ball was in before that horn sounded. It was extremely close.
And the shot, save Warburg, and he punches away.
Upman off his line way early, but Luan scores anyway.
Badger Max, for those who thirst for a championship. Made with all natural flavors and premium ingredients. Rehydrate, recharge, and boost your performance. Badger Max, drink it to the max. Find Badger Max at these fine retailers.
Okay, ready to start the second period. Wave leading it 3-1. Tom went along with the Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer. I think we got Art back online. Art, your thoughts of the first period?
I've arrived to the party. A little late, but I've arrived. Did you see those ding-dongs down there, Tom, during the first quarter break?
Yeah, that was amazing.
They had the plates sitting out there outside the one locker room. I had 5 of those. I didn't know they were using them. I almost ate the whole tray of ding-dongs.
Oh, that one guy could have set a world record if he had a few more.
I did set a world record. I had 5 in about a minute's time. My favorite cupcake, my Hostess cupcake ding-dongs, man. Those were awesome. I thought the Wave was phenomenal in the first quarter. Good energy. 2 goals at the far post, which has got to make Giuliano Oliviero very happy, and they really controlled the tempo and played with some great energy. But we said, Oliviero said they got to play this game for 60 minutes. No letdown.
Wave starting this period with 54 seconds still on the power play, with Chicago's Juan De La Cruz still in the box for tripping. And I'll tell you, De La Cruz, lucky he didn't get 5 minutes for that heinous 2-footed tackle on Tenzin Rampa.
In fairness to him, though, Tom, he did get the ball. It was just the follow-through that really caught Tenzin's leg, and that looked bad.
We'll have to see if Tenzin gets back on the field here.
Well, if there's one guy that can take it, it's Tenzin Rampa. If he's not returning, you know it's a serious injury.
He's one of the toughest players you're ever going to see at any level of professional sports.
I'll tell you this, Tom, we were fixing a goalpost.
And the shot and a goal as Ian Bennett. Check that. Ian with his 3rd goal of the afternoon. Remember, he scored 7 the last time these teams played. He scores the power play goal already with a hat trick today, and the Wave leads it 4-1.
The Wave power play, we've talked about it, has been unbelievable this year. They're on a record pace, and Ian Bennett down in his office on the left side, the low left side, and he is deadly from that spot. He beats Flores to the near post, and as you said it, the hat trick already for number 26, Ian Bennett. Now, you see Flores going down early. Ian mishit that ball. Actually came off his right foot, then his left, and popped up over the top. Look at that, he hits it, he mishits it. And when it's going well, Tom, that's how it goes. Everything going right now for number 26, Ian Bennett.
Ian had 2 of the last 3 goals the Wave scored against Syracuse.
Ian, he can't even believe it, Tom. You see him down there shaking his head on the Wave bench.
Well, he is definitely in his zone, so he has 12 goals in the last 3 games, starting with that 7-goal run against the Mustangs.
Got to say, Tom, I listened to you the whole first quarter doing the game on your own. It brought me back to the late 80s, early 90s when you used to call these games by yourself, game in and game out.
Yeah,
Nothing new to you. You were the only voice we ever heard.
Renault looking long now. Grable trying to come in, and Flores making himself big to cut out and cut the save. Well, it's much nicer to have another voice in on the broadcast, that's for sure.
How many years you been doing this, Tom?
This is year number 29.
29. I guess the only thing that's nice about it for you is the fact that it just does save your voice.
Yeah, absolutely. Hayne with a turning shot, and Flores makes the save. Vandegrift battling for the rebound as Hayne gets a leg in there, and now cleared to midfield, but that's going to hit the video board at the top of the arena. And meanwhile, we get a blue card displayed, and I think they're going to get Chad Vandegrift here.
Well, it's either it is Vandegrift, and a similar foul to the one on Rampa, where right over the top of the ball with the sole of their foot. Vandegrift that time. A little too aggressive in the opinion of Rich Grady, the FAR official. You said it, Rich Grady, Ryan Sigich, 2 of the best in the MASL, I should say, out on the floor today.
1:51, the time of the penalty to Vandegrift is he will go to the box, and Chicago will get its first power play opportunity.
And really interesting, Tom, the Mustangs putting a 6th attacker on the field for this power play. Is that Pee Wee Ortega down in the jersey?
That's what I think. Pee Wee's going to come on and be the 6th attacker. Yeah, you don't see this strategy too much, but Armando Gamboa trying to change the momentum in this game here.
He's done this on occasion, and he used to do it a lot in the old PASL, but I tell you what, against the likes of Milwaukee, Baltimore, Missouri, Kansas City, some of these veteran teams, this is a risky strategy to say the least.
On the far wing, Ortega with a good look to Bond, but he mishit it. And now, Bennett launching down toward the empty net. It deflected off the head of Ortega. Nelson hustling down.
Oh, and Ryan Sigich, the Nair official, bails him out. I talked about Armando Gamboa, risky strategy. This isn't the old Cleveland team in the PASL they're playing against. This is Ian Bennett, a guy who scored 10 goals against you in the last 2 games. Game and a half, that is, playing up top. In my opinion, Tom, it's a bit greedy. You're already have a man advantage. Looking to get a 2-man advantage because you're going to the 6th attacker this early in the game. As I said, quite the risk.
Yeah, I would agree. But feels that this may already be a turning point here early in the second period. Again, Chicago, a team that can score a lot of goals, so I guess a bit surprising they'd be so aggressive with the super power play, but shot cracked on and just wide. Wave trying to move it upfield. Here's Bennett on a race with Alonso. Ian gets there and scores! Oh, what hustle by Bennett, 5-1 Milwaukee.
Well, that answers your question right there, if the risk is worth the reward, as Chicago gives up a shorthanded goal to Ian Bennett. As I said, Tom, you do this strategy against the likes of the Milwaukee Wave, the Baltimore Blast, the Kansas City Comets. Good luck, because that's what's going to happen.
And
you could see that one coming a mile away, Tom. Like I said, they used this strategy in the old PASL, but this is a little bit different ball game right here.
Here it is again. Boy, watch Bennett turn on the Jets. I think Alonso was a bit surprised at Ian's speed. You know, this is Alonso's first year in the league, and he should have seen enough of Bennett in the previous match down in Chicago when Ian scored 7 goals, but looked like he was surprised the way Ian was able to cover ground and get to that ball. I think Ferdinand had the assist on the goal at 2:42. Shorthand goal for the Wave, and they lead it now 5-1, but we still have a long way to go, and they are sticking with the 6th attacker here. which seems a bit surprising as well, but what the heck, I suppose once they go for it, they're going for it.
Well, I think that's a bit of a stubborn approach, though. Well, we're doing it, so we're going to go for it. Listen, this game is far from over. It's 5-1. You've got 12 minutes left in the second quarter. I don't think it's a situation where Coach Gamboa was saying, well, we're down 4-1 and we need to make something happen. This is a strategy that they have used in the past with some great success, I might add.
In the middle, Lemos able to cover up, and he may have taken a boot to the face from one of the Mustangs down there. And it's De La Cruz, who may have caught Josh Lemos right in the chops with a boot there as he was scrambling for the rebound. Let's check it out one more time here. Baca sending it through.
Hard to see from that replay is Lemos's body kind of blocks the Chicago attacker.
Rafael Dice would be the number 2 keeper for Milwaukee. He is dressed and starting to just get a little stretched out in case they need him here. But hopefully Josh is going to be okay. Let's take a look now from our end zone cam.
Looked like that right foot just caught Lemos in the head. It didn't look like it was anything intentional.
Good look by our production crew. Good shot there. There you get a look at Josh, the rookie goalkeeper. He was the primary keeper for the Canadian futsal team in the most recent CONCACAF tournament. In fact, he engineered the victory over Keith Tozer's U.S. national team in the CONCACAF tournament that knocked out the U.S. from the tournament. Downfield deflects into the Chicago bench, but they're going to give it to Chicago. Again, for some of you fans who are used to tuning in our broadcasts over previous years, they've switched the side of the field for the benches. Benches used to be across from our location. Now they are on the same side.
And Chicago just living dangerously here in this, and with really no reason. You're on the power play.
Still 10 seconds to go, man advantage. Wave is on a 4-goal run at this stage. Baca cuts it back on the left foot and a nice block in front. Rebound follow, Lemos making the stop. Camarena with a follow, that one just off the mark. Penalty expires as Vandergriff able to get back out there. And now the Wave will take it, so Jesus Flores, the goalkeeper, comes back on as the extra attacker Ortega takes a seat on the bench.
It'll be interesting to see if Chicago gets another power play, if Armando Gamboa continues to utilize that strategy, Tom. And if he does, I don't think you see the last of the shorthanded goals for the Wave today.
Boy, nice bit of skill there by Max Ferdinand to keep the possession for Milwaukee. Max in his second year with the Wave, spent 4 previous seasons with the Baltimore Blast. Here's Robert Renaud. He's got some good speed going forward. Rolls it in left foot off the mark. Rebound follow. Shot and goal! And Vandergriff has his second of the day. 6-1 Milwaukee.
Once again, the Wave doing a nice job of attacking the far post. That time it was Vandergriff who really collected the loose change after Robert Renaud came streaming down the left side. What pace by Robert Renaud to find himself some space. Shot goes just wide, and there's Vandergriff all alone on that right side, and he beats Flores to the far post.
So Chad, who had been held off the scoreboard coming into today's game, has got his first 2 points of the year with a couple of goals.
And just a dream start for the Wave here today. 6-1 up early in the second quarter.
Mustangs trying to regroup. Wave, as Art said, having an outstanding start to the match. I'm not sure they could have asked for much more at this stage.
It was interesting, Tom. The two teams came into this game virtually identical in their goals for and goals against totals. The Wave was an even 47 goals for, 47 against. Chicago, I think, was a +1. And Chicago sitting with a record of 5-2 and the Wave 4-5. So the Mustangs have made the most of their goals and their wins.
Mustangs taking 3 of 4 during the regular season against the Wave last year, including that dramatic 11-10 overtime victory here on New Year's Eve Day.
Well, they may need 11 goals in this one at the rate the Wave is scoring.
Last year, I recall, Wave had a 9-7 lead midway through the 4th period, and Ortega sparked the Chicago comeback as they eventually tied it up and then won it in the extra frame. Again, Chicago trying to see if they can get over the hump against the Wave. They've lost to Milwaukee each of the last 2 years in the postseason, both best-of-3 series that went to a minigame. In 15, it was here in Milwaukee, the Wave winning it on an overtime game winner by Ian Bennett in the minigame. And then last year, of course, Milwaukee, after getting the regulation game 2, beat the Mustangs 3-0 in the minigame. Hans Dennison with a big goal, and Ian with the clincher as he knocked one in the open net with less than a minute to go in that one. So there's been a bit of frustration with Chicago dealing with Milwaukee, but they certainly have the capability of coming back in this one.
You spoke about their tremendous firepower, scoring 8 goals in the 4th quarter the other night in their win over Syracuse. 6 of those goals in the last 5 minutes.
Just an onslaught led by Taylor Bond, who had 3 of his own during that time. This is Vaca out front. They swing it across. Camarena's shot wide. Miguel Vaca will track it down. They've got some pretty good offensive talent on this team. Talking Martinez, Bond, Vaca. They definitely have some firepower here. This is Carlos Pichardo handling it out front. One man they do not have with the Mustangs this year is defender Guilherme Vega. He was acquired by the Wave in the offseason. Unfortunately for Guilherme, he suffered a hip injury in the Waves opener down in Kansas City, and we have not been able to get him back since then. But he was a stalwart defender for the Mustangs last couple of years. Here's Andre Hain taken away at midfield. Andre comes in with a shot that's blocked. Andre, a second-year man out of Lindenwood University down in St. Charles, Missouri, the Lindenwood Lions. Burst onto the scene last year, the second half of the year with the St. Louis Ambush, and then acquired by the Wave in the offseason in the trade that involved Marcel Feenstra. However, Feenstra has not played for St. Louis so far.
One of Giuliano Oliviero's points that he had on the chalkboard before the game was consistent and constant pressure on the Chicago players, not allowing them time and space. And you see Andre Hain doing a real nice job with his work rate defensively in this shift.
Yeah, forwards have got to step up and try to put some pressure on those defenders as far as Chicago's attack is concerned. Renault.
There's an elbow right there to
dumped by Miletievich.
Surprising that wasn't 2 minutes, because that was an elbow.
And you look at Robert Renault, probably a bit surprised himself there wasn't a blue card called.
Watch the left elbow right. Not as bad as I thought. Renault did a pretty good job of selling it. You always watch to see if there's any extension of the arm from the body, and that time I didn't see it. Give Renault a nice 9.5 for the embellishment.
Yeah, even Brian Lofton would be proud of that one.
Lofty, the former Wave star, who is quite adept at drawing fouls.
Martinez.
He's talking about Giuliano Oliviero's chalkboard points. Another one was not allowing Chicago to go on huge runs. And as you said, Tom, a 5-0 run for the Wave here in this one, which is the difference of 6-1.
Ortega trying to work his way through 3 defenders, couldn't do it. Sean Tosh has it poured away, but poked away.
Renault again getting knocked to the turf.
Midway through the second period, Wave leading it 6-1. Nice back heel there. Here's Camarena coming in. Shot, save, Lemos. Nice job there by Josh. And he comes down hard on Camarena on the follow, and he's going to go to, well, he's going to be penalized. He won't have to serve the penalty, but he's going to draw 2 minutes. Let's check it out again.
Well, a great initial save by Lemos, but then he didn't need to challenge here. He goes over. There's no way the Chicago player was going to score from that angle, and definitely a 2-minute foul on Lemos as he came with a challenge along the board.
Lemos for tripping at 7:51, so let's see who goes to the box to serve.
And let's take a look at what Armando Gamboa on the Chicago bench does with this one. Right now, Flores is still in the goal. So it appears at the moment that Coach Gamboa has thought better of trying to employ the super power play.
So the Wave will try to kill off another penalty. Second power play for Chicago today. You see Daniel Matos going across to serve the penalty.
Where this restart is, it'd be a good time to take a timeout and set up a set play on this restart.
In it comes. Nice sliding block by Vandegrift. Bennett starts it out. Here's Eder Nelson with it. Nelson with outstanding speed as well.
On that block, Vandegrift doing a good job of keeping his body facing forward. See, a lot of guys turn their back to the ball. He actually blocked it with his hand, but no intent.
Lemos got a piece of that one as the Mustangs work it around. Right now it's Bennett, Vandegrift, Nelson, and it's like Stuart Grable on the penalty kill for Wave coach Giuliano Oliviero. Vaca, Martinez, Ortega, Flores, and Bond. The power play unit for Chicago. Bennett clears downfield. Mustangs still with a minute to work with here in the man advantage. Well, they could really use a goal here, Art, if they're going to try to start to turn the momentum in this game.
Now, Coach Oliviero, another point he had on the board was win the special teams battle. Right now, the Wave up 2-0. A power play goal and a shorthanded goal.
Flores tried to lay it back for Martinez. Cleared out. Jesus Flores will come and get it.
You get opportunities on the special teams, you're right. You got to take advantage. And we see Stuart Grable out there for Tenzin Rampa. Tenzin normally at the back of the Wave man-down unit. I'm going to go down at halftime and see if I can get an update on Tenzin's status, but did not look good.
Yeah, at the very least, a bad ankle injury, sprained ankle injury. Oh, double bicycle far side. I'm not sure who made the contact, if it was Bond or Ortega, or rather Rodrigo Flores. Oh, yeah.
We've never seen that one, Tom. That was a bicycle built for two.
Look at this.
You remember the old bicycle built for two? Watch this.
Absolutely.
Look at that. You ever seen that before, Tom?
I have never seen that. I think each guy got a piece of the ball, and Lemos coming up with a big save.
Cue up the old bicycle built for two song.
Oh, man. You can look long and hard through the annals of professional soccer tape, Art, and I'm not sure see one like that, indoors or outdoors. Boy, quick restart there by the Mustangs after the foul, and they almost were able to sneak one in.
And Martinez got away with a push on the back of Lemos.
Vaca's shot is blocked as Martinez will corral the rebound. Now Rodrigo Flores turning shot blocked. Martinez walking in, nice defensive play from behind by Matos, and then a great save by Lemos.
Well, two players that have been outstanding on this man down. Josh Lemos in the net, and also Chad Vandegrift.
Chad having an outstanding game on both ends of the field here so far today. So the Wave killing off the second Chicago power play of the evening.
Vandegrift has the potential to be a Defender of the Year candidate. You can just see how good he can be. It's a matter of consistency right now with him. It's just doing it game in and game out. But the longer he wears a Wave uniform, the better he's gotten. Took him a little while to get going, but he's really starting to come into his own.
Andre Haynes sticks a leg in to knock it away. Trying to keep his balance there. Andre continuing with some good upfield pressure. Mustangs finally break it. Camarena will back it up. And now Renault, great job to poke it away. To your point, Art, the Wave forwards really doing a great job here defensively. Make it difficult on Chicago to get their attack organized.
Give Giuliano Oliviero and the coaching staff credit. They worked on it long and hard during the week in practice, and the execution thus far has been very good.
Wave trying to get back to 500. They are 4-5. Chicago comes in at 5-2. We'll run down the Central Division standings as well as the rest of the Major Arena Soccer League next time we get a chance. Hey, and we also want to say hi, Art, to a couple of Wave fans who are watching this game in China today. They're in China for the holidays. I want to say hi to Paul and Matilda Franks who tuned in the broadcasts. So it's already New Year's Day over in China. Happy New Year to Paul and Matilda Franks, and great to have you on board with us, wherever you may be watching.
So they've already had the New Year's Eve evening celebration, huh? So you think they're laying in their bed listening to this one? Still kind of shake the cobwebs, or?
Well, we always talk about, Art, you know, wherever you may be watching, southeastern Wisconsin, state of Wisconsin,
or China,
U.S., North America, China, or perhaps worlds beyond. Martinez off the end board in front. Couldn't make the connection there.
Well, this is New Year's Eve, Tom. I've been to a few of those worlds beyond on this date. Fortunately, that was years ago.
90 seconds left, first half of the Wave continuing to take control of this contest. Shalali trying to work the 1-2 with Andre Hayne. Daniel Shabali still coming through. Mustangs couldn't get out of the zone. Andre Hayne with it. Andre playing just his fourth game of the year. He's been plagued by an ankle injury so far this year, but looks like he's moving okay here today. Foul called as Renault was dumped on the play. Take a good look at Robert Renault.
You think about the Chicago Mustangs, the one thing that comes to mind is their quickness. They've always been a quick team, but the Wave has really dominated in that area here this afternoon. A much quicker team all over the field. We talked about Vandegrift in the game he's having. That guy, number 12, Stuart Grable, also playing very well here this afternoon for the Wave.
Stewart with the blue shoes. Oh! There for the rebound attempt, but it was blocked in front, covered up by Flores. Final score today in Kansas City, the Comets, or rather in St. Louis, the Comets beat the Ambush 8-5. There is a three-line pass, and the Wave now going to get a restart from its attacking line on the other side.
And this may be an opportunity for Giuliano Oliviero to take a timeout here to get his personnel on the field. Right now, substitution warning on the Wave. You know, at this point, you've got to know that it's a three-line violation. You cannot substitute on a three-line violation. I mean,
same as a foul, same as a regular foul against a player.
And the Wave is just better off just taking a timeout here, set up their restart play. There's only 28 seconds. Now they're tough. Yep.
So now the guys who went to the bench have to stay there
You gotta
until
stay,
the ball
yep,
is
absolutely.
put in play. So Milwaukee now with a 3-man restart.
Well, if you count the goalkeeper Lemos, it would be 4, Tom. And you can bet Giuliano Oliviero is going to take a timeout here.
Well, Ferdinand's going to go for it. Shot deflects wide. Giuliano didn't want to use up the timeout at this stage.
But had they used one already?
Can't recall. To your point, though, Art, had they called timeout, then they could have subbed however they wanted to.
I don't recall the Wave using a restart so far in the first half. If you don't use it in the first half, you lose it anyway.
Now we've got a blue card displayed, and I wonder if we got a delay of game coming up here against Max Ferdinand. Oh, dangerous play, apparently.
Well, it might have been not the initial challenge, but the leg underneath. I believe Rich Grady felt that it was intentional. If we could see that replay one more time.
14:46, the time of the penalty against Ferdinand.
Take another look at this one, Tom. Watch after the initial challenge by Max, watch the lower part. Take another look here, Tom. Tell me what you think. Okay, not this right here, but let's look at down below. Yeah.
Oh.
But really, you know what? There's no intent there. There's no way that is a 2-minute penalty.
So it'll be tripping, not delay a game or dangerous play. I thought by the time they blew the whistle, somebody else had knocked the ball away, and I thought the Wave might get called for a delay game. Anyway, they are going to go with a 6th attacker here in the final 14 seconds of the period. Of course, power play time will carry over to the 3rd period if Chicago doesn't score.
Well, they've changed their mind. They didn't call a penalty on it.
Well, all right. Well, anyway, great first half for the Wave as they score 5 unanswered goals after initially being tied up 1-1 to make it a 6-1 game at halftime. So we will get ready to send it down to Van McNeil. He's going to be interviewing Wave coach Giuliano Oliviero. And I'm sure Giuliano got to be fairly pleased with the way things went here in the first half. 6-1 Milwaukee. Ian Bennett with a hat trick already. The league's leading goal scorer now with 26 on the year. And Chad Vandegrift scoring his first 2 goals of the season. Ian Bennett, correction, Ian's got 4 goals, 27, Vandegrift has 2, so those are your 6 goals. Let's send it down to Van McNeil.
Time for our Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital Coach's Corner. Head coach Giuliano Oliviero. First things first, great first half, but the health and well-being of Tenzin Rampa. We saw that nasty hit there in the first quarter. How's he doing?
I walked back there. Tenzin seems to be walking just fine. I don't know his status to come back to this specific game, but he looks like he's walking without a limp right now, and we'll see. He had a bag of ice on, and we'll go from there.
You said in the pregame, a full 60-minute effort. We're halfway there. You got to be happy with how the team is playing.
You know what? Offense is one thing, but, you know, watching a guy like Chad Vandegrift put his face in front of the ball and block 3-4 shots, it's amazing, and you know what? It's contagious. It goes through the whole team, and guys are really working hard right now. But like you said, we got 30 more minutes.
All right, we'll let you get back there, Coach. Thank you.
Healthy and safe. Happy New Year to everybody.
There you go. Head coach Giuliano Oliviero and the Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital Coach's Corner. More Wave Soccer coming up live from UW Milwaukee Panther Arena. Don't go anywhere. Wave fans, make some noise!
Take a miracle. Look at Lynn, plays it in. Headed down. Marcial across. Shot a goal!
Oh my,
Yes!
This is going to be something else. This is going to be something else, Tom. I don't know if they can go to instant replay, but I don't know if that ball was in before that horn sounded. It was extremely close.
And the shot, save Warburg, and he punches away.
Been off his line way early, but Blue Wad scores anyway.
Badger Max, for those who thirst for a championship. Made with all natural flavors and premium ingredients. Rehydrate, recharge, and boost your performance. Badger Max, drink it to the max. Find Badger Max at these fine retailers.
Why are you here? Do you have a mission? At Cardinal Stritch University, we'll help you find it. We believe it's our job to help people grow in their mind and heart while preparing them for a career. In fact, our undergraduates earn an average salary of $51,000, which is far more than most colleges and universities in Wisconsin. Find out what Stritch has to offer you. Now's the time to visit our campus for one of our upcoming events. We're here to help. After all, we make it our mission to help you find yours. Visit go.stritch.edu/events today.
Go where the pros go for chiropractic care, massage therapy, and exercise rehabilitation. Goodyear Chiropractic Health Center, the official chiropractor and massage therapist for the Milwaukee Wave.
What others see is not a reflection of who I really am.
Pain from everyday wear and tear? That's not gonna stop me.
That younger me, she's still in there.
With uncompromising orthopedic expertise, we make sure the state of your body matches your state of mind.
Professional Construction Incorporated is a full-service construction company serving residential and commercial clients in the southeastern Wisconsin area. You can depend on Professional Construction Incorporated for new home construction, home remodeling including kitchen and bathrooms, and home additions like garages, basements, window and door installation, and more. From start to finish, Professional Construction Incorporated can assist you and customize any project. Call 262-363-0886 or visit WIPCI.com.
If Pat or somebody else was still coming up to
for him here tonight.
Stuart Grable lays it on 2, and Almeida comes in with a shot. Save. Shot on the other side, and Adamson. First Duke, then SMU. And ahead to the left side, and just like that. First Duke, then SMU. And ahead to the left side, and just like that. First Duke, then SMU. And ahead to the left side, and just like that. Oh, Clark steps up, lost the touch, pushed off the play, and a bouncing shot. Oh, Clark steps up, lost the touch, pushed off the play, and a bouncing shot. Really come through experience a lot of times. Here's Dennison coming in, and it comes, and Tosh. They always look easier from up here, though, don't they? There's a shot and a goal by Matos. Beautiful feed from Max Ferdinand, and the Wave leads it 4-1. They always look easier from up here, though, don't they? There's a shot and a goal by Matos. Beautiful feed from Max Ferdinand, and the Wave leads it 4-1. They always look easier from up here, though, don't they? There's a shot and a goal by Matos. Beautiful feed from Max Ferdinand, and the Wave leads it 4-1. Broadcast now, takeaway, walking in, shot and a goal, Ian Bennett! Broadcast now, takeaway, walking in, shot and a goal, Ian Bennett! If Pat or somebody else was still coming up to at 36 seconds against the Syracuse Silver Knights as they Renault turns, shoots, just back that one down as he got cut off along the boards. Ball pops out, shot and goal!
In the fourth period, they were up by 2.
Back in 99-2000.
Go take a whirlpool.
There's a great crack. To back, Ricardo. Nelson fires.
Track all that.
Right to left. Quick shot taken by Louis, turning. Rolls one wide left. Rebound, foul. Contreras turning. Campaign. Matos lays it off. Centering for. Campaign. Matos lays it off. Centering for. Campaign. Matos lays it off. Centering for. Ferdinand lays it off. Wave.com. Nelson got away from the defender. Here he comes, one-on-one against the keeper. Shot and a goal. Nice finish there by Eder Nelson. And Milwaukee. Wave.com. Nelson got away from the defender. Here he comes, one-on-one against the keeper. Shot and a goal. Nice finish there by Eder Nelson. And Milwaukee. Wave.com. Nelson got away from the defender. Here he comes, one-on-one against the keeper. Shot and a goal. Nice finish there by Eder Nelson. And Milwaukee. Mirko Vandegrift clears. Ambush sent it right back in. Be around 11 or 12. So, oh, what a ball there.
You know, they've had some really, really good ones.
Mirko. And as we start the fourth period,
A veteran player.
Corey Dahl with a sliding out to keep the zone for St. Louis. And
and showing some resolve here in the fourth.
Mirko's shot knocked down. Good fourth quarter team so far this year. Score time, so Penn State did come back with a touchdown. Oh, look at Ferdinand. Halftime, so Penn State did come back with a touchdown. Oh, look at Ferdinand. Halftime, so Penn State did come back with a touchdown. Oh, look at Ferdinand.
Different styles.
Contreras with a
time about the process.
And Corey. Renault will slide it. Bennett looking for number 5. There it is. Renault will slide it. Bennett looking for number 5. There it is.
Badger Max, for those who thirst for a championship. Made with all natural flavors and premium ingredients. Rehydrate, recharge, and boost your performance. Badger Max, drink it to the max. Find Badger Max at these fine retailers.
And so we are back here at the UW Milwaukee Panther Arena in downtown Milwaukee, Wisconsin, as we're just about ready to start the third quarter of this game between the Milwaukee Wave and the Chicago Mustangs. Tom Wynn along with the Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer, again wishing everybody a happy New Year's Eve day, happy New Year's Eve to come. And Art, great first half for the Wave as they lead it 6-1.
No question about it. They came out right from the get-go, and we've talked about it here a number of times. Giuliano Oliviero, the Wave coach, put on the chalkboard that they need to play for a full 60 minutes, and they came out, set the tone early on, and they've carried it through the entire first 30 minutes. The big question now is, can they continue to play at this level for 30 more? I thought it was funny, Tom. You heard Giuliano at halftime with Van McNeil. Did you hear his voice?
Yeah.
I mean, he was hoarse. He has been coaching the whole week. You could tell that he has been nonstop, and that voice has gotten quite the workout. And it's paid off so far here for the Wave in this one.
Wave trying to break a 2-year New Year's Eve day losing streak. Overall, Milwaukee is 15-8, but 2 years ago, Art, of course, in 2014, you had that epic 8-7 shootout loss to the Missouri Comets when the Wave literally tied it up in the final second of play to forced overtime. And then, of course, last year we talked about the Mustangs beating the Wave 11-10 in overtime. So, there's no question that fans here have seen some phenomenal games. I'd rate those last two as probably, two of the top dozen games probably in recent Wave regular season, at least this century, as far as the regular season.
Do you have a history of every New Year's Eve game, Tom? Go back to when they played the Canton Invaders. So myself, Tim Tima, we were on that Canton team. What does that say there?
84-85. So New Year's Eve day,
what was the final score of that one?
7-6. Over at the old auditorium.
Wave or did we win that one?
The Invaders.
Yeah. I remember that trip back. A 7-6 win for my team, the Canton Invaders, at that time. I didn't come to the Wave till the late 80s.
Yeah, big win for the Invaders at what is now the Milwaukee Theater.
Let's see, 84, 94, 2004, 14, what's that, 32 years ago?
Seems like only yesterday, or maybe last week.
No wonder I can't remember that New Year's Eve.
That was many New Year's Eves ago.
I know we stopped at Major Goolsby's after the game before we got on the bus back for Canton.
All right, underway, second half. Mustangs in the red uniforms going right to left as we look at the action. They trail the Wave 6-1. We'll see if Chicago can try to turn the momentum of this game around. Edwin Rojas works it back to the goalkeeper, Jesus Flores. Sends it downfield now, Miguel Vaca with it. Back heel lead for Taylor Bond. Wave has done a good job of containing Taylor Bond, Chicago's leading scorer thus far. And Bond has it deflect off his foot at the goal mouth right to Lemos. Oh, Taylor had a great chance there, but couldn't get his feet squared away.
Had he scored there, we would have blamed you too, by the way, saying the Wave's done a great job of containing him.
Andre Hain dumped, but they play on as Chamali keeps it going. Vandergriff will work it to Max Ferdinand. To Hain posting up. Andre gives away that big presence to post up at the top of the area. And again, injuries have kind of plagued him this year, Art, but if he can just get on track, it could be a big addition to this team. Now Renault coming through off the pass from Ruggles. Wide left. Nice little combination there as Ruggles played it off the far wall to Renault going forward. And off the ball, foul called against the Wave.
You mentioned Andre Hain, the big striker for the Wave. And one of the things he has to work on is just his accuracy with his shooting. He's got a heavy shot. He gets some good opportunities, strikes the ball extremely hard. Just got to get those balls on frame a few more times and his goal scoring will go up.
Fleur is the goalkeeper coming forward, leaving the net unprotected for now as Renault races down with Martinez, who does a good job to shield him from the ball and keep it for Chicago. Garcia on the far side. Ruggles cuts him off. Matos trying to play it back. It deflected off the official Rich Grady on the far side, but the Wave still able to control it. Lemos mishits that one on a tough pass back from Ruggles. Tell you, when you're playing against the Mustangs, you have to play hard and fast. They do not give you a lot of time to maneuver with the ball, that's for sure. Pichardo trying to follow that one up at the post as Lemos cuts him off. Josh Lemos with an excellent first half for a Wave today.
Mentioned Giuliano Oliviero letting his team know they needed to play for 60 minutes. Another word that was on that board was play with intelligence for 60 minutes as well. So as you talked about speed of play, there's a technical speed of play, but there's also speed of thought.
Nelson going to get called for the foul there as he put the check on Pichardo.
Important quarter for the Wave, Tom, up 6-1. If you can go out and you can win this quarter, you pretty much salt the game away. Give away a couple and Chicago's going to feel like they're right back in it.
Martinez drives one off the end board, gets it back with a shot blocked by Nelson in the middle. Ortega trying to pry it loose, taken away. And here comes Ian Bennett. Downfield, tripped down to Milutinovic, but they play on.
There's actually Eder Nelson on the break.
Good play by Milutinovic, though, to be able to make the tackle without committing a foul on the breakaway attempt. Ferdinand, tied up in the middle, goes down.
And this first 4 minutes has been Chicago's best stretch of play the entire game. The Wave coming out, trying to weather this storm here early on in the second half.
Shot by Edwin Rojas is off the mark. Edwin number 17, Osvaldo number 9 for the Chicago Mustangs. Foul called on the Wave. Seems like Chicago's had the possession for about 3.5 of the first 4 minutes here in the third period. Max Ferdinand drawing the foul.
Well, pressure is okay as long as you can sustain it without giving anything away.
Ephraim Beard, the West Coast native, with a shot that's knocked down.
Josh Lemos has played well today in the Wave goal. He's given the ball away a couple times, but his shot blocking, shot stopping has been magnificent.
Final score from St. Louis. Kansas City Comets defeated the Ambush 8-5. So Comets bouncing back from their tough loss last night at home to the Florida Tropics. They go to 6-4, and Ambush now at 1-8 for the year. Meanwhile, in Cedar Rapids, it's all Rampage as they are pounding the Tropics 10-2.
It's actually 13-2 now, Tom. Cedar Rapids,
yep.
And
oh, what a conversion there! As pass redirected past Lemos, and I believe that's Juan De La Cruz as the goal for Chicago. So that stops Milwaukee's 5-goal run, and it's 6-2. Nice conversion here. Let's see if we get another look at that.
Chicago's early work rate here in the second half pays off right now. So they get the first goal here in the second half. Once again, Giuliano Oliviero spoke about not allowing Chicago to go on big runs during the course of the game. Let's see what type of answer the Wave has here.
Well, De La Cruz with a nice conversion. Wave coming back. Bennett and Tosh trying to see if they can create a chance. De La Cruz gets his 3rd goal of the season. Has yet to record an assist, so he's got 3 points. This game is far from over, fans.
You mentioned that Cedar Rapids score against Florida, Tom. I wish I would have been at that party, by the way. The party that Florida must have had last night after beating Kansas City. How do you beat Kansas City there and then come back and get pounded 13-2 in Cedar Rapids? There's only one answer for that. You had a heck of a party the night before.
I think they were still seeing lines from the stripes on that field.
Right. The Cedar Rapids field.
All right, delay of games of the Wave with a restart top of the area. Matos off the back heel from Ferdinand, and shot is blocked. Wave will kick it in.
Well-designed restart. The timing was off. Matos had to take an extra step. Didn't get that shot off quickly enough.
Max, nice move there. Pass is broken up. Tosh gets it back. Sean, the second-year man out of Oswego, Illinois, and Northern Illinois University, former NIU Husky. That one headed long, Ortega to the near side. Ortega's been plagued by some injuries so far this year. He is really a player the Mustangs cannot afford to lose for any extended period. Now Miguel Vaca trying to work his way. Good job by Tosh to cut him off, and Sean does a nice job to turn and clear the pressure.
Spoke about Giuliano Oliviero saying that not allowing Chicago to go on big runs, and specifically he had written down to keep possession of the ball. That would be one way to keep that from going on a run. And then the other point was you got to score. You got to score a goal. No other way to stop a run other than to score.
Pretty good flow to the game today. The officials, Rich Grady and Ryan Sigich, done a nice job to keep it under control. Only 3 penalties so far.
And I like in the first half where they were going to call a penalty, got together, discussed it, and decided not to, and that was the correct decision. Because Ferdinand, that was no way that was a 2-minute penalty.
That was right near the end of the half. Good pressure there by the Wave defense, forces Flores to knock it into the stands from behind his defensive line, so that's a delay of game. If it doesn't touch turf, glass, or boards, free kick chance for the Wave. Let's see what they do here. Ferdinand on the ball. He's got Bennett to his left. He will lay it off Matos with the left foot to the inside, but it's wide. Long ball downfield. Bennett trying to head it back. Good job by Beard to head it to his keeper, Jesus Flores. Flores having a tough first half, but he's a veteran keeper. And notice start, even in games in which maybe he's given up a lot of goals, he normally comes up with some pretty timely saves when he needs it. Nice play there to sweep it away defensively.
No, you're right. I mean, Jesus is an experienced keeper, kind of a bend but not break type of goalkeeper. One thing he is he's a winner. You know, as you said, he might not have the greatest goals against average, but he wins games.
Centered across, deflected in. Was it De La Cruz again? No.
It looked like it went off Drew Ruggles and back in behind Josh Lemos. And Chicago right now on a 2-0 run. I think Giuliano Oliviero is going to take a timeout here. And Chicago right back in this one at 6-3. Take another look at the instant replay. Watch to see who this ball hits in front. Yep, right off the Wave defender. That might have been Ian Bennett. Hard to tell from that replay whether it was Bennett or Ruggles.
Paco Gonzalez will get credit for the goal.
Play time, both Wave players were goal. Important hips turn facing up the field, so the ball's not going to hit off you and go into your own net.
Gonzalez gets his 3rd goal of the season to go along with an assist for 4 points. And back-to-back goals for the Mustangs to start the 3rd period. It is certainly energized the Chicago fans who are here today, especially the big group of Mustang supporters to our left. And so Still,
who was the guy they used to have beat on the drum all the time? What was that, Captain Chaos?
I think so, yeah.
I think Captain Chaos moved to Arizona.
He had a huge drum, absolutely huge. He used to bring that thing out here.
Not only could he bang on moving to Arizona, Captain Chaos is a smart guy as well.
Wave will be right back here at the UW-Milwaukee Panther Arena to host the St. Louis Ambush. That will be a week from today, Saturday, January 7th at 1:05 p.m. Call the Wave office for tickets, 414-224-WAVE. You can also order online at MilwaukeeWave.com. Meanwhile, the Mustangs will return home in their next home game to face the Wave on January 14th. They will actually be in Cedar Rapids to take on the Rampage in a big game Saturday night in Cedar Rapids. 7:05 contest on January 7th for the Mustangs and the Rampage in Cedar Rapids. Martinez is dispossessed by Renault as Renault sent him tumbling there. Vandegrift, he's already got his first 2 goals of the season today. Ian Bennett has the other 4. Ricardo takes it away. Ricardo comes in with a shot, but Flores had a good look at that and made the save.
And how times have changed in the MASL, Tom. What do you think the odds would have been of Cedar Rapids winning the Central Division with Kansas City, Milwaukee, and Chicago all in this division?
You could have got pretty good odds in Vegas.
You think so?
The start of this season.
What do you think, 40, 50 to 1 maybe?
Easily.
At least?
Easily.
And then you consider Florida beating Kansas City last night on the same night that Harrisburg goes and beats the Baltimore Blast. Remember when every time Baltimore played Harrisburg when it was multiple point scoring, 26-0, 28-2?
I don't think Vanzela had ever given up more than maybe 2 goals at the most in any game against Harrisburg, and yet the Heat with an unbelievable win. First time in 14 years they defeated the Blast anywhere last night. So, yeah, congrats to the Heat.
What are the odds of Florida beating Kansas City and Harrisburg beating Baltimore in the same night?
Oh, boy.
There?
How about that for a parlay out in
500 to 1?
Nevada, huh?
Absolutely.
Oh, they said Ruggles on the foul. So 5 minutes ago in the third period, and the Mustangs, with the momentum now, they've scored the last 2 goals and have cut the deficit to 3. Cedar Rapids going to go to 8-2 with the victory today over Florida. Mustangs in second place in the Central Division. They came in at 5-2. Then the Comets, as I mentioned, at 6-4 in third place. Wave at 4-5, starting today's action in fourth place. And the Ambush now at 1-8. On the other side of the Eastern Conference, Baltimore, despite the loss last night, on top of the Eastern Division at 6-3. Harrisburg 4-4. Syracuse at 3-5, and the Florida Tropics out of Lakeland, Florida at 3-6.
You know, the old Milwaukee Rampage outdoor team won the championship, I believe, in 2002, Tom, in the A-League. And Coach Boros Susevic at the time used to have the motto, him and assistant coach Tommy Aliota used to say, play the same way all the time. Don't look at the score, whether you're up, whether you're down, just play the same way. And right now the Wave with that 6-1 lead has kind of taken their foot off the gas a little bit here in the second half. Give Chicago some credit though for upping their energy.
No doubt, I'm sure Coach Gamboa made a few adjustments at halftime perhaps. Rodrigo Flores trying to shield the defender Shamali. But Vandegrift able to help out and clear the ball downfield. Again, Chicago has really increased their time of possession here in the third period.
Now this has been all in the north end, which is the Wave defensive end.
We got to get it moving toward the
yes, we do.
The other side here.
Part of it is just the quality of play from the Wave in the first half was such a high level, and you can't, realistically, you can't expect a team to continue to play at that level for 60 minutes.
Well, I was going to say, Art, it's New Year's Eve day, so we got to get it moving toward the south end, where the South End Sports Bar is located underneath that first level there. Sure, there's got to be a few fans down there enjoying it. It's very nice. For you fans who have been out here to the renovated arena, that is a very nice section down there. Lemos came up with a big save a moment ago. Maybe that will spark the wave. Ball deflects out of bounds, still going to Chicago.
You mentioned that south end zone, Tom. Look at it. I mean, you and I can see it. Look at that buffet down there, right here on the near side. Those 5 ding-dongs I had before the game starting to wear off. That's looking good.
Yeah, and again, they don't have any natural netting protection as you would in hockey down there, so you got to stay alive. The ball comes in there. Lemos with another save. So Josh is doing his part to help the Wave maintain this 3-goal advantage. But again, not much possession-wise for the Wave here in this half. Now Gonzalez able to get it started the other way for Chicago. Bond trying to work his way top of the area, got cut off. Shot by Milutevich is wide. Matos trying to bring it out. Daniel double teamed on the far wall, and he drew the foul. Right in front of the official, Ryan Sigurds, right there.
Going to be interesting to see the shot total in this third quarter, Tom. As Jesus Flores down in the Chicago goal has not had much to do.
Over in the Western Conference of the MASL Southwest Division, Soles de Sonora, who were runner-ups to Baltimore last year, topping with a record of 7-1 as Renault gets cut off on that attempt to get to the goal. Vandegraff wins it back. Final 90 seconds. Oh, and unlucky for Renault. He got past the defender, but the ball got caught up, actually hit him in the wrist, but they play on. Baja in second place in the Southwest Division, 5-4. Sidekicks from Dallas, third at 4-6, as 3-line pass against Milwaukee will give Chicago a restart from the line. And the expansion El Paso Coyotes still having a nightmare, 0-9 at the bottom of the division. Pacific Division, San Diego on top at 7-3. Tacoma second, 6-3. Ottawa in third place at 3-4. Coming off a tough loss last night to the Sockers. And then the Turlock Express at 4-6, 4-0 at home, 0-6 on the road. Well, not a good restart pass by Martinez. Broken up now. Nelson and Bennett trying to come to against the keeper. Ian. Shot to go. Boy, what a turning point there.
Yeah, well, just what the doctor ordered for the Wave right there. Off Chicago's restart, the Wave is able to counterattack. It was a poor initial ball by Wheelo Martinez that Eder Nelson picked off, went the other way, and he and Ian Bennett, two of the fastest guys in the league, execute the 2 on Flores right there. Early ball right there from Eder, and then Ian Bennett with his 5th goal of the afternoon. You talk about a Mustang killer.
Oh my goodness, 12 goals in his last 2 games against Chicago. Might be the most dominant 2-game performance against any team in Wave history. I remember the time Housey rolled into Kansas City and scored 10 in back-to-back games against the Comets back in the early 2000s, but I think this is exceeded by that.
No question about it, absolutely. And you consider the Wave only a -1 in this quarter, after the way Chicago really dominated play here throughout this 15 minutes. That's a big goal right there.
Got to be disheartening for the Mustangs, but again, still a long way to go here. Beard shot, blocked by Andre Hain. Hain again continues to be very impressive with his defensive efforts today.
Yeah, I talked about needing to work on his shooting accuracy, but you're right, Tom. On the defensive end of the ball, it's been very good.
Lemos with a nice save there. Mustangs with 10 seconds to work with here in this period. Edwin Rojas will lay it back. And take a shot up in the stands, and that's just about going to do it for third period. Let's get a look at Josh Lemos up close and personal through the netting. Boy, I'll tell you, Josh has had to work hard here, especially in the third period. He's come up big for the Wave. Lobs to midfield, that'll do it for third period. So a dominant period by Chicago, but yet, as you pointed out, Art, only a +1 for the period. We get set for the fourth quarter. Hang on, fans. It's Milwaukee 7, Chicago 3. This is Wave Soccer.
Wave fans, make some noise!
Still going to take a miracle. Look at Lynn, plays it in. Heading down. Marcial across. Shot a goal!
Oh my,
Yes!
this is going to be something else. This is going to be something else, Tom. I don't know if they can go to instant replay, but I don't know if that ball was in before that horn sounded. It was extremely close.
And the shot, save Orberg, and he punches away.
Upman off his line way early, but Luan scores anyway.
Badger Max, for those who thirst for a championship. Made with all natural flavors and premium ingredients. Rehydrate, recharge, and boost your performance. Badger Max, drink it to the max. Find Badger Max at these fine retailers.
You see Ian Bennett celebrating one of his 5 goals here so far today. He's got 5 of the 7 for Milwaukee. In fact, his teammate, Chad Vandegrift, has the other 2, so it's been a 2-man offensive attack as far as the goal scoring is concerned for the Wave, but that's been more than enough to this point as the Wave leads it 7-3. Tom Wynn, along with the Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer, back with you here as we get ready to start the fourth quarter from the UW-Milwaukee Panther Arena in downtown Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Wave trying to beat the Mustangs for the second time in 2 games so far this year. Get back to 5-5 on the season. Chicago trying to avoid their 3rd loss in 8 games.
I think the big key for the Wave here in the fourth quarter, Tom, is when they gain possession, keep possession for long stretches of time. Force Chicago to chase the ball. The Wave was doing a lot of defending that third quarter.
Edwin Rojas across the line. Rojas, by the way, picked up the assist on the goal scored by Juan de la Cruz. That made it 6-2 at the time, early in the third period, on a nice redirection by de la Cruz. Chicago added another goal then from Paco Gonzalez at 7:56 to make it 6-3, but then Bennett with his 5th of the night, with the assist going to Eder Nelson at 13:57 in the third period to make it 7-3, which is where we stand right now.
Chicago outshot the Wave 9-2 in that third quarter, but only won the score battle by 2-1.
Yeah, as you pointed out, Art, very dominant period by Chicago as far as possession. Seemed like they probably should have been able to manufacture a couple of more goals, but some good saves by Josh Lemos, and then giving up that goal right at the end of the period off a really poor restart pass by Willow Martinez. Very rare to see a player like Martinez, who's such an outstanding passer on those restart situations.
And now another mistake by the Wave. Lemos that time playing it over 3 lines.
Close. I think it was Nelson was down there trying to get up for the header, but Eder is only 5'7". He can jump pretty well for his size, but you're not going to confuse him with Andre Hain down there. And as they put it back on the restart, miss hit there from Milutinovic. So the Wave with a goalkeeper distribution coming up. Don't forget Milwaukee right back here a week from today, when they will be hosting the St. Louis Ambush right here at the UW-Milwaukee Panther Arena. That will be a 1:05 p.m. Central Standard Time kickoff. Call the Wave office for tickets, 414-224-WAVE. You can also order online at MilwaukeeWave.com, your source for everything Wave, whether it be Wave gear, summer camps, anything involving the Milwaukee Wave. Check it out at MilwaukeeWave.com. Next Saturday afternoon, January 7th, 1:05, right here, the Wave in the St. Louis Ambush.
You mentioned the ambush. You know, you were reading the standings last quarter, Tom, and you look at the parity around the MASL now, with the exception of El Paso and St. Louis. Tremendous parity here in the league this season.
And really, to compare the Ambush to El Paso, very unfair, because the Ambush has been much more competitive. With a bit of luck, they could have won another game or two. El Paso's just been getting blown out every time, virtually. Long season for the Coyotes down in El Paso.
But with 75 degrees on average weather, I'm sure it makes it a little comfort there for them.
Definitely more comforting than if they were in the upper Midwest. That's for sure.
If you were living in Detroit and getting blown out every game, it'd be different than living in El Paso.
Oh, no question. And Lemos taking another wrap there as he's down. Remember, Josh was down in the first half when he inadvertently took a foot to the face from Juan de la Cruz. So he has been knocked around here today. Check it out one more time. Well, hard to tell as he got tangled up with Willow Martinez.
It might have been Vandergrift's foot that caught Josh on top of the head.
Okay.
You know, you've been to El Paso a few times. That Tom, you've been there.
Remember our road trip one time with Wade United. We left 40-degree temperatures here. We got off the plane in El Paso, and I think it was over 100 degrees. And how about that? Those 2 games we played in the Sun Bowl, home of the Patriots at the time.
Remember, we snuck into the Sun Bowl the night before to practice. Remember that?
I do remember that.
Skates were locked, and we found a way in.
We found a way, Art. That's what you told the fellas. We got to find a way to come down here and get some results.
Rousey and Todd were looking at me saying, hey, Coach, just find some shade here on this field, by the way.
But I got to believe, Art, as Andre Hain trying to come in, but as it poked away, that had to be the hottest game. The first game we played in El Paso, temperature on that turf had to be like about 125 degrees Fahrenheit. Milwaukee now trying to see if they can create something here. 11 minutes to go, Wave up by 4.
And better possession here in the first 4 minutes, by the way. It's a big key.
Mustangs had to use up some energy in that third period. So again, if the Wave can just keep possession, it's going to really make Chicago work that much harder. Renault, nice job there to get it after Mustangs poked it away momentarily. Now you see Ortega running up top on the point of the defense. He's a guy who can play all over the place. Normally he tends to be at midfield or defense. Chamali, good job there to get it. Daniel sends it ahead. Ortega might have gotten away with a handball. Little touch off here, and coming in shot, save, Lemos! Oh, great stop there by Josh. As Chicago basically had a 2 against the keeper. I think that was Vaca he stopped.
Might have been Lemos' best save of the game, and he's had a number of outstanding ones.
What a play there. Ferdinand almost got called for a trip, but the Wave keeps going. Now Nelson is dumped. Foul is called. Boy, what a save there by Lemos. See it again.
Point blank, Lemos getting that left hand out there.
So that keeps the Wave lead at 4. Bennett steps in to take that after touch got away from Camarena. Ian fires in, and as Milatovic plays it off his chest, it deflects out of bounds. Good pressure that time from Sean Tosh. And it's going to be a corner kick from Milwaukee.
Wave winning the special teams battle here today. 2-0, and you consider that goal off the counterattack off Chicago's restart, you could really say 3-0.
Milatovic tries to head it out. Matos swings it to the far side. Ian Bennett. Ian shut off along the end wall. And eventually foul going to be called on Ricardo of the Wave. Quick restart for the Mustangs as they look for Camarena, but good hustle there by Stuart Grable. Stewart has been the man on the spot, both ends of the field here for the Wave today. Ferdinand, the native of Reading, Pennsylvania, works it back out. Good patience there by Max. No hurry with the Wave up by 4. Now Chamale got some room. To the wing, Vandegrift. Chad looking for a hat trick. And there it is! Somehow he sneaks it through both Chicago keeper Jesus Flores, and I think that was Grable at the far post.
Good patience that time on the part of the Wave. Kept possession early on, and then Chamale created some space with a nice move just on the Wave side of half. Vandegrift again getting to the far post, and Chad with the hat trick right there through the 5-hole of Jesus Flores. I don't believe that ball bounced off Andre Hayne.
Andre Hayne that was. Yeah, I was thinking it was Grable at first. It was Hayne.
It looked like it went through Hayne's legs as well.
Time of the goal at 6:21. It will indeed be Chad Vandegrift. How about that, Chad?
Where's that kid from, Tom?
I believe it's St. Louis, Missouri, where he hails from.
Oh.
Former star for the Billikens.
Gotta like those St. Louis boys.
Gotta love those St. Louis guys. No question about it. And in case you fans are wondering, Art Kramer does indeed hail from St. Louis. Pichardo is down as he took a knock there.
It's like Nelly said, he's from the Lou and he's proud. We're proud of him for a hat trick today, Chad Vandegrift.
Take a look and see how Pichardo got knocked down.
In case you didn't know, Tom, Nelly as well from St. Louis.
I think he's seen the ambush on an occasion or two. I know he used to be a big Rams fan, but I'm not sure how much these days. But yeah, he has been seen at some Blues games and certainly Cardinals. So we can't hold that against him. He is from St. Louis. Foul going to be called against.
That was a handball. Good call by Rich Grady. Actually delayed that call.
Rodrigo Flores having some words with Rich Grady, but not going to change his call. Again, Rich and Ryan Sickich has done a good job to keep things under control here today. As you can imagine, when these two teams get together, there is a lot of intensity and emotion.
Right now, delay a game that time on number 3.
Yeah. Milutinovic maybe out of some frustration, but he's going to go. And the Wave will go on the power play midway through the 4th period. Second penalty against the Mustangs. Second power play coming up for the Wave. Each team now has been penalized twice. This one coming at 7:12 of the 4th period. As Stefan Milutinovic will go to the box for a delay game.
Yeah, we're here.
So the Wave looking in good shape here to get a victory on New Year's Eve Day, try to increase their all-time New Year's Eve Day record to 16-8. This has become a great tradition in the Milwaukee sports scene, Art, the New Year's Eve Day game for the Wave, and another nice crowd here today. Probably our largest of the season, I would say.
It's a great crowd, and you consider the Harlem Globetrotters, who've also played on New Year's Eve right across the street at the Bradley Center.
And good timing of the game. You got the Trotters at 1 and 6, so we've got this one right in between. 3 o'clock start here today. Give the fans a chance to either catch the Wave on the back end or the front end if they want to do both in a doubleheader. Longtime Wave trainer Larry Sales, now administrative assistant. His first visit to Milwaukee came when he was trainer for the Globetrotters many years ago. So, of course, Trotters playing in Milwaukee New Year's Eve Day is definitely close to his heart, for sure. Ferdinand trying to turn and put one in.
And Ian Bennett giving a performance to Lemon proud.
No question.
Meadowlark Lemon, the
Clown Prince.
Yeah, Clown Prince, yeah, just passed away this last year.
Yeah, hard to believe. I think anybody in our generation has Bennett tripped down. Foul going to be called that time on Edwin Rojas. Anyone from our generation can certainly remember the Trotters and Meadowlark Lemon.
Him and Curly Neal.
Just incredible. Just an incredible, skilled basketball tandem, not to mention the whole Globetrotters group. Our producer Ian saying that he's familiar with Meadowlark Lemon and Curly Neal, even though he's only 25. I'll tell you, Ian, he's got that Curly Neal look going with that shaved head, just immaculately shaved. I'm telling you, I don't know how we can keep the ladies off of him, because that is just a phenomenal. I wish we could get a photo of Ian up here.
So we got to send our warning down to McGillicuddy's here.
Oh, absolutely. Once Ian makes the scene of Water Street, it's all over. Bond, Taylor Bond, trying to work his way past, and the foul was called. So the Wave has been able to keep the wraps on Chicago's no longer secret agents.
Yeah, the man with the golden feet this year, Taylor Bond for Chicago.
Well, he's only played Milwaukee twice so far this year. And Wave has figured out how to stop him so far today. Now, Chicago calling timeout, and let's see if perhaps they go with the extra attacker. Now, this stage, probably not much to lose if they decide to pull the goalkeeper Flores and go with the extra attacker.
Actually, this would be the time to with about 6.5 left. You know, it's a situation, Tom, with this division being so tight that you have to consider some of the tiebreakers if it goes to that here late in the season. So Coach Gamboa might be thinking about that and saying, you know what, let's just watch our goals, 4 goals against, as it could possibly come into play after 20 games.
Well, the Wave trying to get back to 500. They go to 2-0 against Mustangs. They were 1-3 against Chicago last year during the regular season. 2-1 during the regular season the previous year. Again, they've defeated Chicago in first round of the playoffs each of the last 2 years, both times going to a minigame.
If you break down the season into 10-game ladders, Tom, you got 2 ladders of 10. The Wave's going to finish 5-5 on this first ladder of 10. They're going to need to put together a 7-3 or 8-2 second ladder to get into the playoffs, but certainly a good showing here this afternoon.
Yeah, you're probably looking at a minimum of 13 wins to qualify. Top 2 teams in each division. It used to be the top 3, but now it's only the top 2, and this would be a good step toward getting there. Kane with a bicycle clearance there after Chicago could not find the mark on a couple of chances.
Nice movement by Chicago on that restart, but it was Taylor Bond failing to hit the target from that left side.
I believe that's Ortega again on as the extra attacker for Chicago.
The man right there known as Pee-wee, Luis Ortega.
Small of stature, but big in heart and,
he's
and
unbelievable.
big of skill.
Yes, he is.
Martinez sends one in, but Lemos is there to get it.
He put a little check run move on Richard Schmerman from St. Louis earlier in the season. It almost broke Schmerman's ankle. He faked right and went left, and Schmerman's buckled.
As Bill Raftery would say, a little lingerie left on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. Lingerie or a jockstrap, whatever you want.
Wave again trying to keep the pressure on high as Chicago moves it around with the extra attacker. 5.5 to go. This would be a huge bounce back victory for the Wave after that very disappointing loss to Syracuse last time out a couple of weeks ago. Again, Wave will be hosting the Ambush a week from today when St. Louis rolls into town. And again, you don't assume anything in professional sports, much less in the MASL, but if Milwaukee can win this, good chance again you can get a winning streak going against the Ambush coming to town, but that's still a ways away. And again, even though St. Louis doesn't have a good record, they usually battle the way pretty tough. There's a long shot sent in, but just off the mark that time by Eder Nelson. Eder with a good look for the long roller with the unoccupied net. Now Ian Bennett. Ian looking for goal number 6. This is a chance. Yes! Bennett and Vandegrift accounting for all 9 today. Number 29 on the year for Ian Bennett. And it's 9-3 Milwaukee.
Ian Bennett saying to Eder Nelson, let me show you how do you do this, son. You just had an empty net, you missed it. Here's how you do it. Make sure you read that putt from right to left, son. Former Wave legend Stevie Morris and I used to stay after practice, and we used to roll balls down this turf, trying to go from the one dot inside the penalty area to the other dot. And we noticed that it moved a little bit from right to left. And Ian, with his experience, knew that little movement there.
What a role he has been on, especially against the Mustangs. So Milwaukee trying to cap off a great effort here today. Chicago sticking with the extra attacker as Renault comes busting in. Robert with a shot just wide.
Careful there, Robert.
Tosh picks it up. Ferdinand, and now Max try a maneuver. He gets taken down. Juan de la Cruz gets called for the foul. Well, we haven't seen Tenzin Rampa in the second half. Speaking of de la Cruz was the one who took him out with that vicious tackle in the first half. But you heard Coach Oliviero's report at halftime as Lemos again makes a nice save.
You talk about the 3 stars in this one, Tom. Certainly Bennett's got to be the number 1 with 6 goals. Vandegrift's got to be in there, but Josh Lemos, you got to think he would be part of those 3 stars. But so many good performances here this afternoon by the Wave. Stuart Grable, as I mentioned earlier in the game, outstanding. Defensively, this has been a strong performance on both sides of the ball, I should say.
Best I've seen the defenders possibly this year as far as two-way play.
Or as Packers coach Mike McCarthy would say, all 3 phases we did well, offensively, defensively, and in special teams.
Yeah, no question about it. Excellent performance by the Wave today. Probably a bit disappointing for the Mustangs, but I'm sure they'll shrug it off in time for their big game against Cedar Rapids next Saturday at the Sears Center in Hoffman Estates, Illinois.
And we talked about it. They were a +1 here with their goal differential coming into the game, Tom, and they had a record of 5-2. So got to feel pretty fortunate where you're scoring it basically.
And I stand corrected, Art. The Mustangs will actually be in Cedar Rapids next Saturday. Still a big game, no question, for both teams. And then they will host Milwaukee in their next home game on Saturday, January 14th at 7:05 at the Sears Center. So some of you Wave fans, keep that one in mind. Saturday night, January 14th, 7 o'clock game down at the Sears Center in Hoffman Estates, Illinois, as the Wave will look to make it 3-0 against the Mustangs. But I got a feeling the Mustangs are going to be primed for that one.
Well, a question you got to ask if you're Armando Gamboa is, who are you going to mark Ian Bennett with? I mean, a guy lights you up for 13 goals in 2 games. He's got to be getting some special attention.
13 out of the 20 that the Wave has scored in those 2 games. Then the other question is, how about Chad Vandegrift putting in the hat trick today for his first 3 goals of the season?
Well, not only was Vandegrift great on the offensive side, but defensively, you heard Giuliano Oliviero speak at halftime about him throwing his body, his face in front of the ball to block shots and how much that is contagious throughout the team.
That was a Troy Dosowski type of performance today.
Speaking of Troy, we saw Troy downstairs before the game. Looks really good.
Yeah, he looks like he could still get out there and knock it around for a few minutes if he had to.
Yeah, probably in the over 30 game he could get a few shifts in, no doubt about it. Troy, combination of skill, brawn, and brains.
He and his brother Todd, the Waves' legendary twin tandem, whose numbers both hang from the rafters here at UWMP Arena. Timeout called with 2:11 left to go, so Wave just looking to see if they can wrap this up. We mentioned the home game against St. Louis coming up on Saturday, January 7th at 1:05 here at the UW Milwaukee Panther Arena. Wave will also have January home games on the 21st against Harrisburg. That's a 7:05 start, correction. On the 21st, it's against Baltimore. The Blast coming to town. 6:05 p.m. start on Saturday, January 21st, and then also on Sunday, the 29th, against Cedar Rapids, a 2 o'clock start. So St. Louis on the 7th, Baltimore on the 21st, Cedar Rapids 29th. Call the Wave office for tickets, 414-224-WAVE. You can also order online at MilwaukeeWave.com.
Had to laugh at the Wave huddle right there, Tom. We didn't see it on video, but Coach Giuliano Oliviero is right in the middle of the huddle. The Wave up 9-3 with just a couple minutes left, and he's in there still coaching it to the end. And in the back of the huddle is Ian Bennett. And he's dancing to the music, and he's looking at the guy next to him, and I'm sure he's saying, hey, what time does Victor's open tonight? I've heard about that place on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it'll be quite a party tonight for the Milwaukee Wave and their fans. And I'm sure Chicago fans, once they shrug off the temporary sting of this loss, are going to have a good time on New Year's Eve.
They serve breakfast, Tom, at 7 in the morning at Victor's, by the way.
Really?
Some people don't go home.
Might have to make it.
So I've heard. I've never had the breakfast there myself. Not that I can remember.
Milwaukee going to improve to 16-8 on New Year's Eve day. There's a long chip toward the empty net. Vandegrift for number 4, and he just missed it by centimeters. Hayne off the bench, takes it away. Ian Bennett, who almost was in position to score number 7 for the second straight game against the Mustangs, but Chicago comes away, and here comes Bond. Big save, Lemos. Boy, Josh again. What a performance today.
On the Wave now going to get called for too many men as Bennett changed that time with Robert Renaud. I'm not sure about that call as Bennett was inside the dotted line. Pee Wee Ortega down there having a word with Rich Grady. I think he probably felt Taylor Bond was fouled by Vandegrift on that rush forward. But that type of rush is what really makes Taylor Bond effective. When he can get ahead of steam going forward, run at you off the dribble, he's extremely dangerous. The Wave has done a great job keeping him in check this afternoon.
So a super power play for Chicago here in the final minute as they try to make the score a little bit respectable. And they do as it's knocked in the middle. And that was De La Cruz again as he scores the 6th attacker power play goal, a super power play goal at 14-13.
I'd have to read the rule on the too many men, Tom. Whether it says a player has to be all the way off the field before the player coming on can play the ball, or they just need to be inside the white dotted line.
Camarena will get credit for the assist, as it was his pass or shot in that deflected off the goalkeeper, Josh Lemos. Andre Hayne coming in, cracks a shot wide. Now Matos, his shot just off the mark.
That's a great example of what I was talking about earlier with Andre Hayne, Tom. Point blank, but just can't put it on frame. A good scoring opportunity.
Wave trying to see if they can hit double figures here in the final 20 seconds of play. Stick around for the post-game interview as Van McNeil will be down on the field talking with our PCI, hardest working player of the game. And at the buzzer, that shot is wide. And a huge win for Milwaukee as they beat the Chicago Mustangs 9-4. So the Milwaukee fans who came out to see the Wave today go away happy, especially with that guy right there, Ian Bennett, bagging 6 goals against the Chicago Mustangs, a total of 13 in his last 2 against the Mustangs. And even for the crowd in Chicago, they saw a spirited game. The game was probably a little closer than the final score indicates here. Wave improves to 5-5. Chicago drops to 5-3. And both teams right in the middle of that playoff chase in the Central Division.
See Tenzin Rampa down there on the field, walking gingerly with an ice pack around his right shin area.
Tenzin taken out on that hard tackle, which resulted in a penalty against Chicago's Juan De La Cruz in the first quarter. But again, Giuliano Oliviero mentioned at halftime that Tenzin was at least able to walk around with the ice bag. So we'll see. Hopefully that will calm down in a couple days, and that Tenzin not going to be on the shelf.
I don't have a good feeling about it though, Tom. I know he's walking around down there, but that kid is as tough as they come. I was going to tell the story when it happened that we were changing a crossbar out in Brookfield. The crossbar fell on his head. You know, that, could die from a crossbar fall on your head. Put a dent in his head, and he made it to practice that same day with the kids with a dent in his head. I'd be surprised if this isn't a serious injury for Tenzin, but we will see.
Well, hopefully we can be optimistic for now that he's at least able to stand up down there. But yeah, you're right. It looked pretty bad when it happened. Again, Wave hosting Ambush in their next contest here at the UWMP Arena, 1 o'clock Saturday, January 7th. And then Chicago goes on the road to Cedar Rapids for their next game, Saturday night, January 7th in Cedar Rapids. Cedar Rapids with a huge win today over Florida. I believe that was their all-time offensive outburst start. Today's contest, last we heard it was 13-2.
And was it Everton with, was it 5 goals that he had? I know Jonathan Santos had 2.
A lot of the former Wave players with Cedar Rapids. Let's get ready to send it down to Van McNeil, who's on the field with our PCI hardest working player of the game.
Time to present the hardest working player of the game, brought to you by our friends at Professional Construction Incorporated. We've got 2 of them tonight, and we begin with the man with all the blocks. What a defensive game for number 3, Chad Vandergriff, and a hat trick to boot, Chad.
Yeah. I don't score too much, so special night.
Has to feel good. Big game here on New Year's Eve to take out Chicago and make a 500 mark here.
Yeah, definitely. Any win we get is big, and the fans that showed up tonight, thank you very much. It was a packed house. We really love playing in front of you guys, so thank you.
All right, let's give him the PCI hat, and he puts it on. This is one. This is number 3, Chad Vandergriff. Now we take the hat, sir, because it was so good. Chad had a hat trick, and then the man who turns it up against Chicago every time. Give it up for number 26, Ian Bennett. 6 goals tonight, the double hat trick. It feels good, I bet.
Yeah, it feels real good. You know, I was a little nervous coming in. I had too much of my mama's cooking on the holidays. I gained a couple pounds, but it was good, man. I'm just glad we got the win, and we look good as a team.
This is a big win against one of our arch rivals in Chicago. We went to their home. We weren't able to win there. We won there. This is a big win for us here.
Yeah, it's a massive win, especially, you know, this is the last game of 2016, so we wanted to end on a good note. A packed house today, so we had to put on a show, and I think we did.
We don't lose our sight. We don't lose our focus because we got another game in a week as St. Louis comes into town.
Yeah, this is just a start, so we're going to get the momentum, and we're going to try to keep going and keep pushing and keep bringing that energy, that Wave soccer, you know what I'm saying?
Your Professional Construction Incorporated hardest working players of the game. Number 26, Ian Bennett. Number 3, Chad Vandergriff. How about some noise, Wave fans? Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Chad. More Wave Soccer. You can find out all about us online at MilwaukeeWave.com. Final score from UW Milwaukee Panther Arena, Milwaukee Wave 9, the Chicago Mustangs 4. MilwaukeeWave.com has more for the entire crew here. I'm Van McNeil. Good night, everybody. Happy New Year.
So the Wave, after building up a 6-1 first half advantage, found itself challenged a bit when Chicago would score the first 2 goals of the third quarter. There's the first one there by De La Cruz, redirecting in the shot from Rojas. And Wave goalkeeper Josh Lemos really tested in that third quarter and throughout the second half. Came up with some big saves. But that was a huge goal right before the end of the period when Bennett scored off the pass from Eder Nelson.
Oh, that was the one that stopped Chicago's run.
Because at that point, again, Mustangs had climbed back within 6-3. And on the restart, threatening to go for more. There's Lemos robbing Miguel Vaca point blank. Josh, again, was outstanding today, especially in the second half. And then Ian Bennett capping off his 6-goal performance with an empty netter from 3/4 length of the field. And I like your line, Art. After Eder Nelson had just missed from about the same distance, Ian comes back a little bit later to show him how to do it.
Was that a shorthanded as well?
Well, anyway, that will wrap it up from the UW Milwaukee Panther Arena. For Art Kramer, Tom Wynn, so long, everybody.